Okay, so we're team three, and our company is 3T: trust, transparency, and transformation. So the problem we are all the world is facing at this point. One of the problems is food waste, and it is one of the biggest problems that we are all facing because people keep food waste keeps increasing, and it just gets dumped at a landfill site. And when you bury all this huge amount of food waste, the lack of oxygen causes gases like methane and other harmful gases to be released into the atmosphere, which can cause problems. This is the solution we're presenting. So we can reuse all the waste which is produced by supermarkets, households, of vegetable and fruits, and we can use that waste to produce fertilizers. So there are many supermarkets and food waste is most common in supermarkets and households when they throw out either old fruits or vegetables, ones that have been used, etc. And we can use that waste to create fertilizer. The advantage of this is that when a majority of the fruit and vegetables end up in the landfills, they can create problems which I had mentioned before, such as the production of methane and other gases, and they can fill up landfills very quickly. So, by using it for creating fertilizers, we can cut down the amount of waste ending up in landfills, as well as use it for a better purpose, such as fertilizers.
Right. So the working that we will be depending on is something like this: that we will be sending our portable compost bins to households and supermarkets and groceries, and then we'll be collecting the expired fruits and vegetables, the vegetable wastes and peels in the houses, at like the normal households where there's a certain amount of waste that's been created on a weekly basis and a monthly basis, and then we'll be processing them into create an organic compost. And a part of compost would also be going to the farmers that work with the related supermarkets and for production or for providing fruits and vegetables. And then the poor farmers that are also in the need of manure will be provided some of it from the compost. And then we talk about our funding. Is that where we aim to get our funds from is the Indian Center of Applied Sustainability Solution, that is the ICASS. It has provided funds to many organizations, including Worldwide Fund for Nature of India and Nature Conservation Foundation. So, we'll be expecting funds from the ICASS according to the needs and requirements of what our organization requires, and according to the scale of work we'll be doing. So it would not cause much of a problem in funding section, because also there are not much returns that we are supposed to give. And speaking of our audience, our first stage target would be small groceries and colonies that would like to collaborate with us. So we start from the middle class colonies that where people generally have a waste of food or waste of vegetable and fruit peels on a daily basis. And then the second stage target includes large supermarket groups that would like to be collaborating with us. For example, the Reliance stores or Tata Group that have many branches and multiple stores around India and many other world. And the third stage target would be farmers who would be requiring manures as well as.
So the future perspectives of our scope is as we grow, we would improve our machinery. So like instead of having the solid fertilizers, we would like to make it into liquid, so it's easier to store and easier to use. Then separating from the plastic, because as you know, like when we take the garbage, when we take the organic materials from the household, there may be chances that they may throw plastic materials and such in that. So we have a proper plan of separating the plastic materials from the organic stuff. It's easy. It's a long process, but it's easy. You just need simple machineries. You just have to dissolve in water, and the plastic material will float off, and then you can take off the organic material and use as fertilizers. So expanding our research in the sense, like we can come up with new ways so that we can we can reach the farmers, we can reach the more societies in which we can collect the organic waste and expand our project to more bases.
So our key partners are, as Vedant said earlier, supermarket chains like, for example, the Tata Group or the Reliance stores. And then initially we attempt to start with small groceries so that we have a we have a profile before we move on to larger groups. Then we need transport providers so that they can take in the waste from places like from our uh, the processing station to the farmers. Then the key activities for us would be the collection, the transportation, then the processing and the distribution. The key resources that we would require would be labor, transportation, and the warehouse staff. And the value propositions is that as mentioned by Krishna, that this reduces the amount of waste that goes into landfills, and reusing it for creating compost, which will help farmer replenish the nutrients in their soil. And then the customer relationships, we'll have online and offline surveys, suggestion boxes, and membership. Then the channels we would be using would be newspaper, the internet, emails, and NGOs, so that we can have a better communication between the farmers and us. And the customer segments, again, as we said earlier, the most important audience for us would be the supermarket groups, because they are the ones that would be producing waste in bulk, right? So we need that those supermarket chains are the most important audience, and after which are farmers. And then the cost structure is, again, we'll be having the most important place where our cost would go would be the marketing and the storage, manufacturing, machinery. And then the revenue streams are supermarket chains and the subscriptions, the monthly or the yearly subscriptions.